Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
first I want to say hello, happy Saturday to everyone who's in the Saturday time zone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Netta Faye, and this is True Talk, where we just just chat about everything for learning and loving and living true self, raw and uncut. So you may have see some technical issues, like since he's having a few with his Wi-Fi jumping, but we'll still here. And our end game and our goal with living our true self is to live on 10. I believe it is very possible for us to live an elevated and a joy filled uh, and free life every day. May not be a happy every day, but definitely can be elevated, joy filled, and free every day. That's what we do here in True Self Society. Welcome everyone who's joining us, and I invite you to comment and share. I think Sensei's moving his spot, so we'll let him do that as we kind of get talking. One thing I want to ask you all to do is to take a little breath in and out to kind of center yourself on our time together. I am grateful and give thanks to Spirit for gathering us together here today. So I want to enjoy every aspect of all of you that we are centered here. Um, I invite you to subscribe to True Self if you haven't already, and walk with us on this journey as we live on 10. I am very excited for all of us to hear from and chat with Sensei, aka Lambert Greene. Um, Sensei is what our small circle of intentioners call him. Um, is a fantastic soul, and he talks all thing on calibrating life with authenticity, with joy, with free speech, in the real sense of free speech. So I think you're going to enjoy hearing from him today. We're going to start with a little bit of calibrating life, but we're going to go where spirit and the flow takes us. And I believe that everyone will get what they intend to get from it. Again, I want you guys to participate and comment and ask questions and share as we get into this conversation. Again, thank you for joining us. And Sensei, welcome to True Talk.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so glad you agreed to chat with me, and you are the first male
Yeah, I've been on it. Come
on
on, there's
True
a
Talk.
male. Yeah, you guys are doing a lot of female conversation. I'm going to call it masculine and feminine because that's what you put it to. And so, as you know, I relish in the concept that there is a masculine and feminine, and I relish in the idea that I am masculine.
Hmm.
And in most of my communications, you guys tell me I got a lot of feminine in me. I'm okay with that because y'all bright and smart and you know more than we do anyway. So I'm okay with being in that side, but I'm one of these males, so that's part of the process.
Awesome, awesome. Hi, Melody. Hi, Andrea, for joining us. Hi, Margaret. Thank you all for being with us today. Sensei, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, I'll give you a little life history.
Okay.
Uh, 79 years old, born in 1946, grew up in Miami, Florida, segregated Miami, Florida. I give you the life history because at every phase of my life, I learned lessons that took me through to the next phase.
Mm,
And at about 50 years old or so, I began to reflect on those things that I learned through the various stages. And I talk about them through stories.
mm,
I got tons of life experiences, not one
okay.
or two, but tons. And all of my life experiences have given me lessons. I am not in any way a sheltered little kid that grew up in the hood, scared of white folks and all that kind of stuff. There's no
Mm,
part of me that understands that. But I
mm,
do understand now the qualities that I have that brought me to where I am and the journey that I took to get here. So I went to Northwestern Segregated High School, went to Morehouse College, Segregated High School, and I consider that one phase from from there to school, where you would, where I was in that phase. And I joined IBM, a corporate company, big
Okay.
old white corporate IBM, and was part of the first phase of Black folks that went into corporate white America. Now,
Okay.
that's an important situation because
It
it's
is.
interesting, and there's a story that got me into there, and there's a story that got me into how I was successful there. I went from a junior programmer at IBM to an assistant vice president in 10 years.
Wow.
Now, that is just remarkable by any circumstances, but I never considered it anything but normal. Did,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
left
Yep. Yep.
IBM, and so that was another phase, and that phase I call learning white folk phase.
Coming from hi Jackie, welcome. Glad to see you. What Jackie says, I heard about IBM during this time. I came in at the right perfect time. And listen, this is Sensei coming from segregated high school and segregated Morehouse into a whole different situation.
Yeah, and so we had integrated, and so now and become successful there with the obstacles that folks call obstacles that I never realized were obstacles until I went back and reflected upon them. I
Like
left there and
what?
went, oh, you
Okay.
let
Oh,
me
you
come
coming to
on,
that? You're coming to that? Okay.
come back.
Okay.
That's what yeah, but I'll stop it
Okay.
there. Quite
No, no, go ahead.
went from there to independence with my brother as an insurance agent,
Okay.
where we sold no fault auto insurance and had a nice little business until my brother screwed it up. And
Okay.
then from there to business for myself back in 1983 as a
Okay.
consultant. And in the consulting range, I've consulted every phase of client from corporate to police officers to fire station firemen, local
Okay.
government. So, and lots and lots of consulting work and about 100 or so uh, facilitation workshops. Did a lot of diversity training, a lot of team building, leadership, all of that good stuff.
Okay.
So, but through all of those phases of work, I learned more about myself and how to work within the environment. And somewhere along that line, until this stage, now you go to retirement, and there's another phase of life that goes on there. And the current phase of
Mhm.
life is where I am now, managing, supporting my wife who has Parkinson's disease.
Okay.
And of
Yeah.
all of the phases of life I've been through, that is the absolute hardest
Mm.
that I've ever had to encounter.
Mm.
But with those phases are stories that are remarkable. And if any question is asked about any phase, I'll tell you a story first, and then we can go through to it about that phase, where it is. And more importantly, because you're looking at kids, you're looking at talking to folks who you're looking to achieve 10. And the first phase of achieving 10 is to know thyself,
Yes, it is.
because you have to look at yourself in relation to other folks to see who you are. And
Yes.
so you
Yeah.
have to know yourself incredibly well.
Yeah.
And,
It's a
but that is
prerequisite.
not, and that is absolutely not easy.
Hmm. So, what about your going from, let's say, Morehouse to IBM that helped you see yourself and to start to know your true you?
Well, so here I am at Morehouse College, and now we've just come from we're at phase at Morehouse College, but we're doing a little uh, what's that thing that we used to do? We marched. We went
Mhm.
downtown.
Mhm.
We picketed stores and stuff.
Mhm.
And so I'm going into white IBM after going through that. But Benjamin Mays told us something on the way out of Morehouse that stuck with me throughout. We were picketing at Lab's Cafeteria here in Atlanta, Georgia, at one of the stages at Morehouse. And
Mhm.
we were told by Dick Gregory that before you be a slave, you'll be buried in your grave and go home to your Jesus and be free. And go out on the streets now and picket it. Step up for your rights out on those streets. And you take 5 steps forward and 4 steps backwards,
Mm.
and 5 steps forward and 4 steps backwards. You
Okay.
got that? That's the
Yeah.
rules. All right.
Yeah.
Because that way you ain't being a vagrant,
You're
because you're
moving.
continuously
You're
moving
walking.
forward. You're
Yes.
continuously moving forward. But then they
Yes.
said, sit down on the streets. So
Mm.
we sat down, and then
Okay.
the police put us into a paddy wagon and threw us. They didn't put us in jail. They put us in a big room. But
Mm.
it was interesting that a black cop and a white cop picked us up and threw us in the back of the paddy wagon.
Okay.
But fortunately, we were let out that evening, singing and having a good time. And you got to understand, we didn't know we were changing the world. We knew we were teenagers being allowed to raise hell with some folks we didn't care nothing about. And so we
Mhm.
did. But the next day, and this is the story, Benjamin Mays took us inside. And one of the greatest lessons I've learned, he said, if you all choose to go out and picket, that is your choice to do so. It's something that you should do. Julian Bond went out and picketed, and he was a Morehouse student. He
Mm.
also didn't graduate from Morehouse at the time.
Mm.
And he didn't graduate because we're not going to give you a freebie to go out and picket. If you missed your classes,
Oh, okay.
picketing, and
Okay.
your instructor give you an L, we gonna flunk you.
Mm.
If you miss take a test pad poorly because you were out doing that phase of life, we're gonna flunk
Mhm.
you.
Mm.
So understand that every choice that you make is a choice against doing something else. So the choice
Right.
to picket is the choice not to give up something over here at Morehouse. If you choose to stay at Morehouse
Mhm.
and graduate, when those doors are open, somebody's got to walk through those doors. Morehouse men will walk through those doors and we will succeed.
Mm.
That will be
Okay.
your job at that point in time. So I
Okay.
went to IBM with a mission,
Okay.
but it wasn't a mission that said, I got to go. It was a mission that said, I got a job to do.
Mm. Okay.
And so when I got there, it was a process of learning that job
Mm.
and learning it from right at the beginning and throughout the process. And as I reflect back on it, so a few of the first things you learn, I learned that white folks weren't that smart.
Okay, put a pin right there because we need to have a little bit of a conversation.
Okay, good.
Hi, Reverend E joined us, and they've got some good conversations going on. Jackie has a question. Did you experience issues in the classrooms with professors because of protesting? So maybe
No,
that's beyond not showing up for class.
n-
But
no,
okay,
we cut class anyway, and we experienced the issues in the classrooms because we made bad judgment and bad decisions as students.
okay,
You know, a 7:30 class that you knew you weren't going to attend was going to be a D. I mean,
yeah.
you don't learn that by. But
But
what we did do, Jackie, and all of you, is that we had life experiences, and those life experiences gave us the foundation for moving into an IBM. But no,
the
we didn't flunk out of Morehouse
The
because
but the professors were supportive of the protesting,
no,
but you had to do your classwork too? No,
no,
they weren't?
no, hell no. See, here's the mythology. The mythology is that you had people around you helping you and working with you, and that's just not the way it worked. You had
Okay.
folks that couldn't speak English, teaching physics, that didn't know about the things. You had other folks. You had a you had a philosophy of success that at Morehouse said is incredible.
Mhm.
You know, and mostly from the upper class and the students, I became that leader when I became a senior. And you had faculty that I'm sure understood and allowed us to do that.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
R
no, but we didn't have faculty that backed us up.
Okay, okay. Reverend E commented that everything has an opportunity cost, and I think that was when you were saying, Julian Bond flunked out because he made
That's
the
right.
choices to pretty much go full stream with the protesting and advocacy outside of the classroom. So, like you
That's
said,
right.
he made that choice, and it worked for him.
Well, well,
Yeah.
but you know, back again to the things you learn. Julian Bond had a passion,
Mm-hmm.
and that passion was part of who he was at his core, and he pursued the
Mm-hmm.
passion and
Mm-hmm.
did it outstandingly well.
Mm-hmm. So you're at IBM and you learn some things about other people. Um and
if you integrate it and you think about what we did when we went there, we didn't know the white community. What
Right.
we subconsciously thought was that they had to be good. They had to be good. They had all of the resources, all of the money. So they had to be good. So when you get there in that environment, you're expecting that they are really good.
Right.
And so I got there with the anticipation that they were good, but fortunately with no anticipation that I wasn't good either. The old saying said that you had to be twice as good to get there. So I never even thought about that. I was always better than good with everybody. So I wasn't worried about being twice as good. And
Mhm.
and I get there and I find out that what they are missing as a unit is common sense. Because and I don't venture to understand why. Later on in life I said it's because a fish doesn't know that it's swimming in water.
Right, right,
They're
right,
swimming in
right,
that water. So they don't
right,
understand the water that they're swimming in.
right, right, and
I
this is not bashing other people,
Mhm,
Europeans. We're talking about experience because I experienced the same thing, because of the conditioning that we see on the media around us.
mhm.
We grow up and you walk into places and there's nobody who looks like you. So yeah, the automatically assumption is there's something there that's not over here. They've got
Yeah.
something I don't have. They got so you're like, okay, well, let me figure that out. And then you get into these corporate environments and you think, how did this person get this job? Right?
Yeah.
You're the work you do shore them up. And a lot of that is my frustration about these DEI conversations. It's like
Well,
this is not giving us anything.
listen, don't get frustrated by DEI because, and I say it again, because they got to do something. People have to do something to keep their standing where they are. And one of
Mhm.
the ways of doing that is to put someone else down.
Mhm,
So
sure.
that's why I say your first thing is to know yourself. You got to know your
Yes.
strength. You got to
Yes.
know who you are, what you bring to the table that contributes to success, and what you bring to the table that can take away from success. Now, I'm
Mhm.
just 20 years old when I start with IBM, so I'm not supposed to know any of this. But I'll give you a perfect example. When I got there, they gave me assignments to do. And when I got the assignment to do, it was an assignment after becoming a programmer. First, I had to go to programming school and learn how to program, which was a whole nother little situation. But I got to do that. And now I'm back and I'm given assignments by my line manager. And the assignments are things that I could do in 10 minutes,
Mm.
just to give you. They're giving me 3 weeks to do it. Now
Mm.
I got a problem because you don't go to nobody's place and show them up.
Mm.
That's a skill set you learn in the hood.
Mm.
You stand back and look. The book that we read when we went to, and you'll ask any of us during my time frame, 1967, I graduated. They went to the White. Our anthem was a book called "A Spook Who Sat by the Door," and that spook
What?
who sat by the door knew that he was a house dressing Negro that they had hired to sit by the door so they could say, "I hired some black people." But your job wasn't to just sit by the door. Your job was to look at the organization, look at the SIM, and figure out how to win in their environment.
Mm.
And the adage was, if you knew more about them than they knew about you should be able to have an advantage. If you know more about them than they know about themselves, you ought to be able to whip their ass every single time.
No.
So I'm looking back, and you don't walk in somebody's house and start telling them what's wrong with their house. You walk in their
Yeah.
house and you look around.
Mhm.
That's called black culture.
Right.
We all got that. We ain't going to Aunt Mary's house and tell Aunt Mary how to run our house.
Right. Right, right, right.
Uh, So,
Okay.
so I'm sitting there, and he gives me these assignments. My job is to try and figure out when should I turn in the assignment because I could have done
You
it a week ago,
you could you couldn't do it
but
too early.
he gave me 4 weeks to do it. When should I get it done? So I do it in 3 weeks,
Okay.
and I got about 4 or 5 assignments like that actually. And when I'm looking at these assignments, they come around, and after about 6 weeks that you're there, they give you an evaluation. They call it a pre annual evaluation. And he comes in and he gives me a meets requirements. A
Mm.
meets requirement. So the four
Meets
categories
requirement.
are well,
Yeah.
meets minimum, meets requirements, exceeds at
Mm.
times, consistently exceeds, and outstanding.
Mhm.
Now, I know I ain't outstanding because I wasn't trying to be.
Mm.
But I'm pretty sure I'm consistently exceeds because I've exceeded every deadline that he's given me.
Mm.
And so he says, well, we were giving you a break because we thought you needed time to catch up.
Ah.
And I said, so I get this appraisal that says meets requirement because you don't know how to give me an
Give me
assignment.
assignment.
That that's not working for me.
Wow.
It just
Wow.
isn't. And so
Yeah.
in the meantime, and I'll stop. I'll let y'all get in.
Yep,
I
yep,
read a
yep.
book called A Business and Its Beliefs. Go ahead.
Mm.
Am I
Yeah,
going?
yeah. No,
It was
I was just,
okay.
saying to again, good comments here. Jackie said it's still happening today. She says, "I feel like I'm listening to my grandpa talk. It feels good, warms the soul." Vicky joined us. Hi, Vicky. And Margaret says affirmative action, double standards. Yeah. And, possibly, there was expectation on the other side that you needed some type of grace to
That's right.
perform.
That's right.
Right, because I guess
Need-
when they're growing up, they had the opposite expectations about what we could or could not do.
and that's something. That's
Yeah,
exactly true. Yeah.
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 So
And
he
so,
give you assignment, tell you got
and so
4 weeks, you could do it in 30 minutes. And you like you said, you figure out, okay, well, when do I turn it in?
I read the book. T.J. Watson was the CEO of IBM at the time, and he wrote a book called A Business and Its Beliefs. And it talked about what it took to make IBM successful. And in the book, he said it takes excellent performance, respect for the individual at the highest level, uh, and an ability to be outside the norm but know what you're doing.
Mm,
Call that being a rabbit or something like that. I'm not sure at this stage.
mm,
He also said we expect management to support you. That was a time when management actually supported employees.
mm,
And he said, if there's any issue that you have that cannot be resolved by management, you can write my office and tell me about it.
mm. Wow,
So I
okay.
wrote on that. I wrote on that appraisal at 21 years old. This is not something that I agree with. I've consistently acceded. I think that it's not showing respect for me as an individual. Perhaps Mr. Watson would want to know about this.
Oh my goodness. 21, you might probably were the only person who looked like you there, and you writing this on your, review.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah.
So,
So you were that kick ass way back then.
and that's one of the things that I've looked at over the years to try and reflect upon who you are as a person. I'm that person.
Mm,
I'm the person that has to step up
mm,
to be the one in the conflict because I'm capable of doing it and I enjoy doing it. And
okay.
there are many of us that cannot. So I have a role to play in that environment.
Mhm,
But anyway, suffice to say, I got past the first review and was promoted to first level manager within a period of time that broke the record. Second level management report, a period of time that broke the record. And not only did I do it, there were others that graduated with me, all across and from historically black colleges
mm,
that went on to become extremely successful, way ahead of the curve in corporate America,
mm.
way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, right. Right, right,
But
right.
I learned a lot about them. I got so many stories about them. It's just incredible.
Mhm.
You know, once,
Yeah. LP says she had a similar experience where she did the same thing, and she CC'd the boss and everyone with her comment, so she's in the kick-ass group with you. And
I,
that true self category.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
just it. Oh my God, I've done something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we need to do right now is, and I think I'm out of sync with the world at this point, but I do believe that one of the things that we need to do is understand the obstacles we overcame, but not as
Yeah.
obstacles, but to understand that we did that it was normal for us to do it.
Yes.
They keep telling us it's an exception, but it was not an exception.
It
It
was
was
not an
normal.
exception.
It was
Yes.
normal for us to do it, and that it
Yes.
is in our culture to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's in our culture to do what we did and how we succeeded. My hood, my life, my culture got me more success at IBM than any book training that I did
Mm. Mm.
because I knew how to handle people.
Mhm. Yeah, and to do above and beyond to make something out of nothing, to create something that's not there because
Well,
we
yeah,
could.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, to understand, you got to understand their rules and what they were using for success, so that you could do that and succeed.
Mhm.
And because you needed to succeed, you had to learn their rules. You had to understand how they did perform their work, what they did to succeed, and how they
Mhm.
did it. So you did that, and you didn't tell them that you were doing that. They didn't know you were strategizing. In fact, I don't
Mhm.
think I knew I was doing it. I just think I was being Lambert. But I look back
Mhm.
on it and I realized that that was a great asset to be able to do that.
Mhm. Mhm. Richard joined us. Hi, Richard. Thanks for joining us. I think a good point you made just now, Sensei, too, was to remember about our people. And True Self Society targets Black women, not to the exclusion of other people, because of the distinction and the nuances of that community. And I think that message sits or targets Black women, but then can ripple and spread out. But we are impacted in ways that other people aren't. Black women double the minority. We are impacted in ways, just the jobs reports. If you guys saw how many Black women have lost jobs between February and July this year, over 300,000 jobs. And I think it serves us well to remember, as you just said, Sensei, what we achieved 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, not just our ancestors, but even us in walking in the journey to get here,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. And now we getting coming back to masculine and feminine. That's one of the things that I think is kind of a difference. We compete and fight. That's part of our innate nature.
Mhm.
Somebody hits us, we want to see how can I hit them back. I would want to see how I could get them in a position where I had complete control and hit them in the back of the head, not the front, so that I could make sure I got them knocked out on the ground. Got
That's a kick
now.
ass.
So I say that because if your role that you've been given all of this time as a woman was to be subservient to a male in a room full of folks who made all the rules, you got a serious get, catch-up problem. You got a bigger catch-up problem than I have because
Mhm.
I will knock one of them out.
Mm.
And I have that. And they, interestingly enough, those who have the power are the ones that are holding you back. And they're not giving up that power easily. They don't even know it they have. But we also learn is that they think they're smart.
Mm. Mhm.
They think they have them. They think they're smart. So what you've got to do is to begin to strategize when you're with them of how to succeed, how to beat them.
Mhm. Yep, yep. And for yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah, like that, to determine where we're gonna place our energy. Where in this situation, things that they may not even know about or
Okay.
see, where do we place that energy to navigate through this in a successful way?
And they told me after I become, they got to know me and they thought I was good and they've been respecting me. They said, we want to train some white managers on how to manage better manage the minorities that come into the organization.
Mm.
And, and we want a panel of blacks that have been successful. If you don't mind, to come and sit in a panel to help us better understand how to train these black managers.
Mm.
These they said they didn't say white managers, they said manager, but they wanted white.
Mhm.
And so now we had, would you come do that for us? I said, I have no intention of training white folks. What to deal with black folks? You gotta be out of your damn mind. I spent a lifetime trying to figure out how to get around your ass. And then if I gotta figure out how to train you, I'm not doing
You declined. You said thanks,
it.
but no thanks.
And I'm not saying this to you guys. I wanted to say this to you guys too, because I'm not saying it to say I'm better than anybody. I'm saying it because I want you to feel and sense the energy that goes out. And it's
Yeah.
not an energy that says that I am subservient or subordinate. It's an energy that goes out saying, I know who I am and what I
Yes.
bring to the table. And
Yes.
oh, by the way, if I bring this to your table, you're going to have to give me something.
Yes.
And a
Yeah.
fellow named Don Givens pulled me off to the side. And he was a white boy. And he said, Lambert, they called me Bert because you couldn't have a two-syllable name in the white folks' world. Lambert became Bert. William became Bill. Donald became Don.
Oh my gosh.
All right, y'all go get tired of me.
That's
I
yeah, I
know
know
it.
it. I know you crazy. Go ahead.
So, but Don told me that if I were to do that favor for them, the plant general manager would know me and he would owe me a favor in return.
Mm,
I said,
okay.
okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, at least you're investing your energy in getting something
But,
back.
well, because at that time I was looking to become a senior manager and a vice president. At that point in time, I had learned the system well enough to know that I could succeed in it. And I
Mhm.
was looking for the edge that I needed to get there. So, yeah,
Mhm.
of course, now I'll do it. Of
Mm.
course.
Mm.
And I remember being in that room with those guys, and the guy said, and what the first thing I told the senior manager was there needs to be some black managers in the room
Mm. Yeah.
as as their as their equals, just
Peers. Yes.
peers as
Mhm.
their
Yeah.
peers. And so
Mhm.
maybe they could talk firsthand to some.
Yeah, one way to learn how to relate to people, talk to them, interact.
You know? Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, but I was there, and they had a guy that was from a Mormon that said that his religion taught him that a black male and a white female could not be together, and he would have difficulty manage them. And he wanted to know what I thought he should do as a manager to handle that.
Mm.
Yeah. I told him to quit.
Yeah, how'd that go over?
You know, I look back at all the dumb things. I'm still in my 20s doing this. So I think that there's some core that is a part of you that comes with you that helps you to succeed in the area that you're in. That's a part of
Mhm.
your norm. That's a part of
Mm.
who you are as an individual. But
Mhm.
what I also realized was he was not making any sense to me.
Mhm. Right, right,
You
right.
know what I got nothing to do with who you want to marry, don't marry. And I don't have the prejudice to say you shouldn't do it or not do it. I'm just saying I don't need you managing me if that's what you're bringing to the table while you're looking at it.
Right, right, right. Right, right, right. Yeah,
But
sound
Steph,
like
and I said, how come he didn't say a white man with a black woman?
mm, hmm,
So I asked him that the next day.
mm.
They got silent,
Got silent.
just like you are right now. But they had because it goes both ways. Shouldn't it?
It does it
If your
exactly.
religion got a problem with race, then it
Right.
goes two ways.
It goes 2 ways, right.
Yeah. And so
Wow. Wow.
but all of those things were informative to me in terms of my success as I left IBM later on. They were a great company for teaching me how to manage. how to have leadership, how to organize uh, stuff to get it accomplished, all that stuff. I'm very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But so I give them credit for everything in that area. I'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
one more IBM story. I got to be a senior manager here in Atlanta. And when I first came to Atlanta to do that, they brought all of us together. And one of the things that they said to us was that Atlanta is a different city.
Mm. It
Atlanta
is.
is a different city. And
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta has a lot of things that they are doing that we would not like to have them do to us.
Hmm.
And one of the things that we don't want to happen in Atlanta is we don't want Hosea Williams coming into our organization for something we have
To
done
keep him
because
out.
because Hosea Williams is an unreasonable person. And that gave me one of my lifelong idioms that I live by. And my nickname is Hosea.
Okay.
Be unreasonable.
Okay. It gets things done. It makes things
Be
happen.
be unreasonable.
Mm. Okay, I like
It
that.
it helps you to win.
It helps you to win.
And if you don't have a part of you that can be unreasonable, at least acknowledge I don't have that part in me.
Mm.
But I don't discard it as something
Right.
that needs to be there in order for
Right.
me to move forward.
Right. I like that. I like that. It's some good comments in the from the audience and from people listening. Margaret says, "Shake shit up." Be unreasonable." I love these people. I love them. Love them.
I love them too.
Yeah, love them. But you have to be unreasonable to dare to be true self, especially in the society we live in.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have to be unreasonable, and there
Hmm.
is strength. There's something about that that's real
Yeah.
to be yourself, and you have to
Yeah.
be unreasonable
Yeah.
to dare to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So, Sensei,
Hey,
you go ahead.
no, go ahead. Please
Finish
ask.
your story.
No, no, I'm
I know
done.
you coached quite a few people. And I don't know if this was after. It had to be
Hmm.
after IBM, after insurance.
And
You
in
you
my
you you, you
in my
did start
consultancy
coaching
career,
people on calibrating life.
yeah.
How did that fit with where you were going in your true self journey? Um, in that Jackie says, "Coach Mink."
I
Uh,
think that helping others is the core reason I came on this planet. And so all of this led me to coming to a point where I became valuable to other people by helping them to get to a point where they were trying to achieve. Now, there's something that I should recognize here. In doing that work as a consultant, coach, and facilitator and trainer, one of the things I did was a lot of people would come to me with stuff, and I would work with them. I talk with them, just like I'm talking to you guys now. Never, never preachy, and in my world, because I'm real, I don't have this idea. But the three things that they said that we would run into in the coaching world that I'm in is you have to distinguish yourself. Are you a coach? Are you a consultant? Are you a therapist?
mm,
Because you're not all three. And people are
mm,
asking you to play different roles at different times when you're in the business that I'm in. A therapist, I'm not. I really don't care how your mama treated you or your
mm.
daddy or now I recognize that that's a big part of how most folks are and where we are and part of our foundation. But
Right.
that's not what my grace is. I have tremendous empathy and very little sympathy.
Mm,
So
mm.
learning yourself, right? I'm
Right.
not a
Right.
coach because a coach is trying to help you be a better you than you are.
Mm.
I'm not a coach. I'm a consultant, and a
Mhm.
consultant says you got a goal, you got something that you are trying to accomplish for yourself, you got something you're trying to reach, and that's something hopefully is a passion of yours that you want to get done, and
Mhm.
somehow you're not reaching it. because you're getting in the way of your own success
Mm.
by some bad beliefs you had, some bad stuff you had. I'm very good at listening to you and understanding your stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm exceptionally good at telling you that's your shit, not mine.
I know. Sensei, hold up a minute. Hold up a minute. A few comments here. So Margaret asked, "How many books have you written so far?" And one of the things I wanted to tell y'all that anytime I have a conversation with Sensei, I have to have a pen and paper to write stuff down that he says that is just golden. So Sensei, we're gonna make sure you talk about that one book.
You know, the book is, I won't talk about the book because the book at where I am now, I don't know that the book gets written by me, but where the internet is and where AI is, there's potential for some things coming out that would come out. What I am not is I'm not good at business. I'm a horrible business person.
Mm.
I have made a whole lot. I made plenty money, but I have made a lot of money. I don't have a nest egg. I'm not invested because those things are, everybody is not interested in doing everything.
Mhm.
So when I had good money and I had a little stuff left over, I went to the beach, watched the ocean and the waves come by because my spiritual guide is my foundational guide piece. And that would help me in that journey. And
Mhm.
so the book just never got written. I did write, as I told you, I did write Lambert Greene's personal guide to choosing happiness to success when I thought I was
Mhm.
going to be a motivational speaker. But somehow that didn't work out either. But at this stage, what I really want is for the ability to at least have a platform from time to time to have a discussion, to talk about things, to tell stories, and
Yes.
hopefully have those stories have some meaningful to the folks
Yes.
that are listening to it. But not stories for the sake of building me up, but stories because I think they were really important in
Mhm.
having me to move forward in the way in which I have, and to have a
Mhm.
life where I could say to you truthfully that of the folks that I've been involved with, I could not think of one that I did not have a positive impact.
Mm. Yes.
Now, part of that is because if I don't like you, I ain't involved with you. So, and I don't waste a lot of energy trying to get involved.
So you check that alignment up front.
Yeah,
Check
you got to check
check
that out.
that up front. Melody wrote, "Sensei ain't for the meek." We know that's the truth. Melody has infinite, infinite and intimate knowledge of Sensei. LP wrote, "This is amazing for knowing how to market yourself." Okay, yep. Oh, Jackie says she'll publish that life book of yours. Yeah, she's
Okay.
she's she's our publishing queen. She has at Black Stack out there, so you can go check that out. Um, she said, "This is why I created Black Stack." Yep, that's why she created Black Stack. Yep, yep, yep. Reverend E says, "Yes, Jackie. Yeah, it's the good stuff that's that's right up Black Stack's alley and necessary and needed for again that remembrance of who we are. Definitely individually, because if you can't start there, you can't go anywhere. But collectively too, it's important for us to know, remember who we are, where we come from, what we're made of, what we have done, and what we can do despite the crap that's around us.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're finally doing it. I read, through this journey, I've been. You get on the journey of understanding self, you're going to be given all of the tools and resources that you need along the way. They're just going to
Mhm,
show up, and
mhm,
you begin to get all of this knowledge that doesn't teach you. It allows you to recognize yourself in the fact that there are others around you. But I went to a conference some years ago and they said, if you want your custom culture and tradition to be taught to your children, you cannot give them over to the white folks to teach it for you.
yeah,
And that was a time right after we integrated. And if you all recall, we did something that was incredible. We sent our best over to them to succeed.
Mhm.
And they did not have anybody over there to give us the support that we required that they were giving others.
Mm.
I never had a mentor at IBM. In fact, I don't even like the term today because
Mm.
what I had growing up was not a mentorship. I had a whole slew of black folk around me that
Mm.
talked to me all the damn time. And the best advice that they gave, the best advice my daddy ever gave me was, how's that working for you, Lambert? As I thought I messed up and did some shit that I wasn't supposed to and got in some trouble. Daddy ain't said to me, you should have done that. Why you? How's that working for you?
Mhm. Mhm.
And we had the ability to strive. I knew the best in the neighborhood and the so-called worst. I was close to everybody, and
Mm.
they all brought something to the table as a learning for me to move forward. And then I came to realize that's our culture.
Mhm.
I was walking through I was walking through the bus garage at MARTA while I was consulting with the white guy that had hired me. And as we walked through the garage, the folks just turned around and looked the other way because most of the guys in the bus garage were black.
Mm.
And he wasn't able to get close to him. And I said, I'll show you something. I said, tomorrow walk through the garage with me and I'll show you something and you'll recognize something. He said, okay. And you know that skit that Key and what's his name does with Barack Obama when the white folks
Mhm.
come up to him.
Mhm.
I did that
Mhm.
to him. I walked through the garage. Every brother I saw said, "What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? God damn, bro, you looking all right? What's going on, bro?" And so as I
Mm.
walked through the garage with him, and they walked through with me, they nodded to him.
Mm. Okay. Mhm.
I said, "That's culture, brother.
Mhm.
We speak to each other. We have a bond that we have that is not one that you have. We have
Mm.
to invite you into that bond.
Mhm.
If you don't know how to be there, you have to be invited in. We ain't letting your ass in."
Mhm. How do we, fast forward to today, kind of strengthen that? We're scattered around, we're doing different kind of things, we're taking on different types of ideas. And again, this is not to be anti other people, but this is to be pro our people because we experience at least this place we're in right now differently than other people. We're impacted differently from other people. And even around the world, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because of the color of our skin, we are uh, really just taken differently, right? The interactions are different because of that. How do we get some of that back? That culture, that speaking, that being there for you, somebody telling you, how does that work for you? The older people pulling you over and say, "Hey, are you sure that's what you want to do?"
Well, I don't know is the answer to your question. What I know is that we lost it. I
Mhm.
know that we lost it as a part of evolution. I don't think we lost it on purpose. It's a
Yeah.
hell of a thing to try and integrate white companies in white America, and you ain't but 20 years old and you don't know the rules of the game or how to do
Mhm.
it. That takes a
Mhm.
lot of energy. It
Mhm.
takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
When we did that, we kind of forgot. They had terms that we started using, and I pick them out like mentoring. We didn't
Mm.
have mentors. I had some white folks that say, "Well, how did you have that conversation with your children about sex?" And I'm going, "We didn't," you know. And it was discussed. Somebody older than your parents in my world
Mhm.
pulled you aside and told you about it. Or
Mhm.
as it was in junior high school, they allowed you to talk about sex in junior high school. If you were a high school physical education teacher, that was your job,
Mm. Mm.
and so
Yep.
we've lost that. So, and then we were taught to be afraid. I've got all kinds of stories on how we were taught to be afraid of each other. When did we learn that? And so we've got it's a rebound that we have to come back to. But I am
Mhm.
so encouraged. I mean, I've been turned on to some brothers on YouTube and some sisters on YouTube that I flat out love. Clay Corn and that sister Nisi or Reese that talks with him. They're over the
Mhm.
top good. Laura Daniels, over the top. And a lot of women are leading the charge. So I need the women. I need you guys to know that you got and taking charge. Don't just defend.
Right, 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 right.
Don't just defend. But
Yeah.
I think we do it by. I think the young people. I think the young people that we have, the younger generation that we have now, they're anxious to hear these words come out, telling them they're great as opposed to telling them they got to overcome something.
Mm. Right, right,
You're
right.
supposed to, what I left Morehouse knowing was I'm supposed to be great.
Mm.
You know, it ain't like I got to overcome. I'm supposed to be great. I'm supposed to be better than they are.
Mm.
My daddy said I was a 1%er, not a 10%er.
Okay.
Told me I spoke 5 languages. I said, Daddy, I don't speak nothing but English. She said, you can talk with them niggas on the street. You can talk to the white folks. And
Mhm.
and he
Yep,
mentioned it,
yeah,
multi-language,
multi-language,
multicultural,
yeah. Mhm.
multicultural. But I think that what we have to do is what you're doing. I think we have to use the resources that we have now, the internet, the social media that I'm not familiar with.
Mhm.
But I think we have to use it to put it out in a language that people can understand and hear it.
Right.
I think we have to not be proper.
Mm.
Not, not, not paying you a
Right.
little proper, but you got a lot of street in
And yeah, 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 well, yes. Well,
you.
again, it's that multilingual thing going
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
yeah. But and so that's what I think, and I think that we've got to understand that we do have groups currently that are working in support of us. We cannot buy into the fact that we're not working together because we're not on the news. What they're putting out there
Yes.
is crap.
Yes.
My grandson is looking to become a pilot,
Yes.
and he's joined the OBAP, which is an organization of professional aviation professionals.
Mhm.
They are a black group that have a convention every year, and they have given him tremendous support,
Mm.
unsolicited.
Yes. Mm. Wow.
Just different ones of them. And we've got to get back to doing that.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah,
the
yeah.
new folks on the block have got to know that we as seniors have to give them permission to do it.
Yes.
That's our
Yeah,
job.
yeah, and
Our
share
job
these
is,
stories. Yeah,
yeah,
share the
and
wisdom like you're saying.
not hold them back.
Right, right, right. And it would be good to connect these efforts, like you said, in the background, and they don't have to be in the forefront. We can stay in the background, but be connected to
Yeah,
kind of know what each other are doing,
yeah,
to move these things forward, right? To give us what we need to be true self and to navigate the waters that we find ourselves in.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 And,
One thing I
and
hear a lot of people saying about the current situation is that this is not new for us. This is not
oh,
a new thing. So remember, no, don't panic, don't fear. Just remember.
yeah. Thank you. And that's real part of the message. And I'm hopeful that somehow or another they'll get back to those of us who are not the heroes that they have made, that they just want to put out in front of us as who we need to be listened to. But those of us who are the foundation of us,
Mhm.
people like myself, quite frankly, I told a little brother on the street, told me, big man, can I talk to you for a minute? After about 10 times calling me, big man, can I come talk to you about that? I said, let me say something to you, brother. First of all, I don't need you calling me big man. I got some age on you. I'm called a senior. You can call me sir or Mr. Green, but I don't need big man.
Mhm.
And I said, secondly, I think you look like you in school. You in school? He said, yeah. What you doing in school? How you doing in school? I'm doing all right. I said, don't hold your mind down when you say all that to me. Tell me what you're doing in school. Because if you can be out here on this corner asking me if I need a little something, you can do better than that in school. Now, I started doing that because I realized that I quit talking to the children.
Mm.
I got told that all of the time. I got
Mm.
so much street wisdom. Street wisdom is incredible.
Mm.
But who's giving it to the kids? Because I got pissed off with them because they pulled their pants down below their butts and they cussed in front of their mothers.
Mm.
We never would curse in front of our mothers or our aunts. And so I got pissed off and quit talking to them. I called it my fault in that some phase in between.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said they got guns and they'll shoot you and kill you, and you got to be scared of them. They told us to be frightened of our children,
Mm.
and we did it. So we have to overcome some things. We really do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have to say I'm I'm very intentional in the grocery store now. Not about running away from kids, but going up to them and saying, "How are you?
Yeah.
What's going on, little man? How you
Yeah.
doing? Can you
Yeah.
give me a handshake?" And the
Yeah.
grins that come across their face tells me that they're the same kids that we were.
Yes. Yes. I see you. I'm
Yeah.
respecting you.
And so I think
Mhm.
that's the first step that we can take is start talking to our kids, not
Mhm.
lecturing them, but talking to them and letting
Yep,
them
yep.
know that, we got a few life experiences too. Shit, you want to talk about some life experiences? I ain't get to be 79 years old because I didn't know how to navigate
Mhm.
this little thing called life.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, a lot of great comments in the chat. I can't read them all, but they are wonderful, and I'm not surprised that we're getting a lot of good juice out of this conversation. And, since we'll be talking this a lot and you'll be able to share all of your stories, I'm sure across Substack and everywhere. Um, we're coming up on an hour. And one of the things I did want you to just touch on a little bit whenever we're together, a lot of times one of the things you'll say is, if you want peace in the room, bring peace to the room.
Bring peace to the room.
Bring peace to the
Peace to
room.
the room. Yeah.
And a lot of the people in the chat, we're all doing our part to do some of the things you're talking about, connecting with our youth and following our path of being true self and honoring those in our communities that can lift us up. Jackie wants to know what's your Substack.
I
Well,
have not.
look, in true sensei form, it's about vanilla ice cream as a white envelope. There's nothing there, but I definitely can share it with you. And when promoting the video, I'll share it on those promotions so you'll get it. It is just so I had to go to him and say, "Can you send me a text message so I know who you are?" It's a lot of senseis out there. I don't know which one is you. No fluff, no nothing, no identity, no picture, no nothing.
You got to
But
remember,
we
guys.
we we
Yeah.
we're 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 going to pull him in a little bit farther into Substack and the spaces that we're are in, doing our piece of it. We got a lot of pieces represented here. Reverend E with the spirituality, and Margaret with leadership, and Jackie and LP with Black Stack. Just a lot of different great people bringing some great energy to the room, and I've been pleased to get to know them. And it definitely feels organic and real because these people are their true selves. I
Yeah.
mean, when I talk to Margaret, boy, she be dropping them bombs like I don't know what, but I know it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and others. So and that's what I love about this space so far, that it feels this way. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up with Sensei's kind of tidbit on bringing peace to the room, because at the end of the day, in all of our efforts, that's what we want: joy,
If you-
peace, elevated, live free.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for asking me to do this.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
S- So, bringing peace to the room, Sensei.
Well, it. I'll tell you the background story is my wife has Parkinson's and I deal with it. And I'm fussing and fighting all the time with her about what she can do and not do. And I realized that I was not bringing peace to the room. And it just came to me in the morning where my things come from. And it said, if you want peace in the room, you must bring peace to the room.
Mm,
And it has worked. ever since. When I'm with her, whatever the situation is, that pops into my head. If I get stressed because something is happening that I don't
Right.
want to happen, I'm
Right.
having something that I have to deal with, I stop, take a couple of deep breaths, and I go, if you want peace in the room, you bring peace to the room.
Mm.
And I now find that a room calms down when I come to it.
Mm. Yes.
The room calms down when I come to it. So
Yes. Yes.
that's just part of that spirit. That's a part of that
Yes.
spiritual journey that we keep
It is.
living
It
and
is.
keeps reminding us, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. And whenever you say that, it reminds me that we don't have to be subject to the external. We can dictate from the internal to the outside. And just because other people are cutting up and acting crazy doesn't mean we have to participate or join that. We can go in and calibrate the energy in it. But we have to be aware and conscious to want to do that, just like you're doing
Yeah.
there.
And it doesn't make you weak. There's nobody that will tell you I'm a little weak for.
Oh, nobody. If they do turn around, they're not telling the truth.
Yeah. So
Yep, yep,
that would be a tidbit that I would leave. And I love
yep.
that one. If you want peace in the room, you need to bring peace to the room.
Bring peace to the room.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sensei, for bringing your laughter, your wisdom, your just spirit to us today. I know we learned a lot, and we're finishing with peace, and we're going to continue on our journeys doing what we do. And we're going to chat with you many more times as we go forward. And you may hear from some of these ladies just say, okay, what the hell? I'm going to do it. Anyway, thank you all for joining us, and be true self. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.